Arizona's
I'm
up
ex-
8.
yeah, I'm excited about basketball, man. Tennessee don't play anybody worth a damn until they go to Vegas, MGM Grand Garden Arena in. So they leave this weekend. So next week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they play Rutgers and then they play Houston, who is awesome. And then
Yes.
depending on what happens, they play one more game on Wednesday or Thursday next week. That's when they'll finally
Okay.
get some pushback
Yeah.
in real life. So
Michigan doesn't really have it. They play Auburn pretty soon, but
Auburn looked pretty good.
really, I haven't
That's
seen
gonna
them
be
play
that'll
yet.
be a fun. Yeah, they played Houston really tough. Had a
Okay.
chance to win it there at the end. Where they tossed it inbounds, and the Houston players defended it pretty well. So they was trying to knock an alley oop, an out of bounds alley oop. Auburn did. They were down one, and tossed it in, and God couldn't catch the ball cleanly and get it up in the air. So Houston wound up winning it. But it was a good dang game. So Auburn's pretty good. They're athletic. Pettiford's outstanding.
Yeah, well, I remember all too well from 9 months ago or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, we're not here to talk about college basketball. We will eventually, but right now college
Yeah.
football's still hot and heavy. Yeah, so hot and heavy. This is episode 13.2. It's a preview for this weekend's games. I'm Brian, that's Chris. This is Health We Know Podcast. Thanks for joining us. If you like the show, share it with a friend. You can find us on YouTube and Spotify and TikTok, and shorts on TikTok. Especially, that's where the Georgia fans like to, pick and choose what they rip on Chris about. Maybe he made a bad pick about the Georgia and Texas. Who knows?
Only way to find out that you gotta go find it and see.
That's right, exactly. Yes, no, please look at it. It's hilarious. People are just funny. Like I love it. Like it's they can rip on us how I look, whatever. I don't care. Like just watch it and enjoy it. All right, enjoy it. So, all right. Well, we're gonna start looking at this week's games. There's not a crazy amount of great games, but there are a few good ones, and there's one close to your heart that's going to be probably a better game than you'd like it to be. We'll save that guy for last. You could probably do your best guess of what that game might be based on what's Chris's behind Chris's uh, screen there. We're back to here a little technical glitch there. Sorry about that. So, like we were saying, there's not a ton of great games. Like this is the kind of the typical one of the weekends where SEC plays their scrimmage games, like Texas A&M playing Samford, for example. Georgia playing the mighty Charlottes, whatever they are. No, what are they? I should know
I have
that.
no idea. I think of Charlotte. I
Should
think of
know that.
Hornets.
Yes. Well, let's call them Hornets. That's fine. Doesn't matter. They're going to be the bruised and battered, scoreless Charlotte whatever's. One
Take
and
your
nine
check and go
Charlotte.
home, guys.
What's the spread? 43
I
and
don't
a
know. They
half.
would. It wouldn't let me bet it
Would
on
you?
the money line for
Of course
sure.
not.
No.
43 and a half. Okay, well, we'll get to that. So what is the first game you have that you have about 8 or 9 games you said we're going to
I got
go
9.
through?
Yep.
9. Okay.
I got Mizzou, Oklahoma for sure.
Mizzou, Oklahoma. All right, let's start with that. That's good. That's one of the top games this weekend, right?
Yeah.
As far as like top 25 matchups, it's a noon Eastern kick in Norman. Looks like the spreads. Oklahoma's favored by 7.5, and the over under is 41.5. I'll let you kick it off for this one if you want to get started.
Sure. Yep. And it must have come down as I got it at 42.5 whenever I was doing the list. So that's come down
Okay.
a little bit. Mizzou at Oklahoma minus 7.5. This one, while I think Oklahoma wins it, straight up money line, I'm gonna take Oklahoma. I think this game's more dangerous than maybe Sooner fans would maybe let on or like to believe because of the last 2 wins Oklahoma's had, which are incredible wins. They go and they beat Tennessee at night, and then they go to Alabama and get even more impressive win down there.
Right. Right.
But with Missouri, if Purdue was playing this game for Missouri, man, I would take Missouri in the points on this one. I really
Yeah.
would.
Well,
But
that
they
spread may be
wouldn't.
like 4 if that was the case.
It wouldn't be
4.5.
exactly. Yeah, you're nailing it, right? It wouldn't be 7.5 at that point.
Mm-mm.
It would be way
Mm-mm.
closer to 4, 4.5, or 5, maybe at the most. Because Zollers is okay. He's just a
He's
freshman.
fine. Yeah,
He's green.
he's
So
going to get rude awakening by that Oklahoma D line.
for sure. Yeah. So I'm going to take Oklahoma and I'm going to take them to cover. I'm going to take the under though, because without a forward passing attack, I don't know how much Missouri could contribute to that over under of 41. Even if it's 41 and a half, it's not a whole lot of points, but I think
Hmm.
Oklahoma probably gets in the, mid 20s, and Missouri might get to 14, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't think Oklahoma's going to have any trouble in this game at all. I think they're going to control it. I don't think they blow it out because their offense isn't very good. Missouri
Right.
can get after the quarterback, and their run defense is really good. Oklahoma can't run the ball. Oklahoma's been making hay on turnovers. If Missouri can just limit that and not turn it over, then they can be in this game and maybe not pucker factor 10, but the fans are in the stands like, damn, we should be gone by now, and we're still here watching this.
Mm.
Kind of that kind of game. So
Exactly. Right.
I'll take OU money line and to cover, but I'll go under on the 41 and a half.
All right. Well, I'm going to kind of follow you. I pretty much 100% agree with you. I think Oklahoma will just be able to get to their freshman quarterback and just make him miserable, speed him up. We saw a really elite quarterback talent like Bryce Underwood just have no idea what to do with that Oklahoma defense, and you got another kid at Mizzou who's going to see something similar, even more wacky. Is this three deep? No, it's a single high, and there's four. They're playing quarters the next snap, whatever. So I like Oklahoma to win this game. Like I don't think that they don't have an offense that's like going to put up 55 points. Oklahoma, that is. So I must say they're going to cover. I like Oklahoma to win like 27-13, something like that. So I'm just going to hit the under as well.
Under for both of us. Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha.
All right. Was the Miami Vautech game on your list? Probably not, I gather.
It is.
Is it? Okay.
No, it is not. I'm sorry, it
Okay.
is not.
Okay.
Nope.
That's okay. We don't need to talk about it other than the fact that you can get a ticket for as low as $6.
I love that. I,
I
you know
know this
what?
makes me laugh.
If it was like an evening game or a night game, it would be worth $6 going in and watching the
Absolutely.
Virginia Tech entrance because it's
Absolutely. Yes,
amazing
yes,
to see.
yes,
So
right.
and then get out of there, head to the bar.
Yeah,
That's it.
exactly. Seriously, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Maybe maybe, James Franklin makes an appearance or something. He's the new head coach and, comes out midfield, says something. I don't know. And that's not really something they typically would do. But yeah, $6 and you're going to go in and spend a beer. It's going to be 14 and a quarter per beer. So
yep.
yeah, that's why it was 14.50 for an old style at Wrigley Field,
That's
and it was
that's
eleven
just
dollars for a hot dog. It was
that
good. Hot
is
dogs are good, but it was just
stupid.
like $25 for a shitty beer and a mediocre hot dog. But I did that twice. So
Yeah, as did many other people, I'm sure. Yeah, yeah.
yes,
I was going to
oh
ask you how
yes,
many you got, but yeah,
just a couple, two glizzies and two beers. One was a Bud Light, and I remind myself, um, I like Old Style way better than Bud Light. This is getting off topic here, but I just
yeah.
it's just a better beer. It should be shittier, and arguably maybe it is, but I don't know. I like it better.
I'm surprised you didn't bring in a flask.
I didn't even think about it honestly, because I bought a bottle when we were there. We went to a liquor store that had every you know Pappy, etc., everything known to man that you'd want, and of course, each one's more expensive than the next one and marked
Right.
up by 2,000%. So,
Yes.
but I did find a single barrel Maker's Mark pick for only $55, and those usually go for
Oh,
about
there you go.
70. I was like, well, I'm gonna
Yep.
grab this guy. It's really good actually. It's really good. So I'm way off topic. Okay, sorry. What
It's
was the
okay.
next game? What was the next game on there?
You have to scroll down. Scroll down there. Let's see what
Scroll
we
down.
got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably not Eastern Alabama. USC
Oh,
Oregon
there we go.
absolutely is on there.
Yep.
So
Oh yeah.
let's hit this guy because this is probably the marquee game as far as top 25 teams go. This is really important as far as Big Ten title chances go, playoff chances go. This is the do or die for USC. They're in playoff mode. Um, USC traveling to Eugene, old Pac-12, Pac-10, whatever. Pac something game, so they're going to hang a banner. One of them's going to hang a banner after whoever wins this, I think, probably. Um, I'll go first on this guy.
Mhm.
I like USC. I think I hesitate to say this. Maybe they finally turned a corner and they found a culture that's working well. Um, you know, they still have some flaws, of course, and they've had to gut out some wins. One of which was against Iowa just last weekend. Um, but as good as Oregon's been, especially early in the year, they look after that Indiana game, they've looked a little more mortal, right? Now, part of the problem for them is they've just all their wide receivers are hurt. But my best guess is what I read is Corey Moore will be back this weekend, and the other wide receivers' names escaping me that they should be back too. So that could change that offense, to even more explosive than they have been the previous few weeks with their down guys. And USC is just they're a different team on the road, man. I mean, we saw them, this kind of struggle in most games, including against a bad Purdue team that early in the year. That was kind of a big thing because there was like a 3-hour rain delay and stuff too. So, um, man, it's Oregon's favorite by 9.5, a total 59.5. That's what it has here. Looks
That's
like
what
the
I got too.
weather's fine. There's nothing to. It's not like look like it's sleeting in 38 or something. But this is a big game for both coaches, I think. I'm dragging my feet, I know. Um, because I was thinking about earlier today, I'm like, I'm not sure. And I really made my decision. I'm gonna go with Oregon's gonna win this game straight up. Um, I think they'll just be able to run the ball better than USC will. Um, I do like USC to cover that 9.5, though. I think that's a pretty big number. I can see Oregon winning this game like 35-30, something like that. And I do agree. I'm going to take the over on this too. I think some points will be put up on the board by
I do
both
too.
teams. The one caveat is if USC is able to run the ball as well as they did against a good defensive line against Michigan, Oregon's got a good D line up front. So if they can run the ball, that makes me want to pick on USC. I just don't have the confidence in them to do that. If this was in the Coliseum, I'd probably pick USC to win the game. But right now, I'm going to go with Oregon, USC to cover, and the overhits.
Yeah. And just like you did last game for me, I'm kind of following your lead on this one too, because the only thing that gives me any kind of pause with it is USC going anywhere else and playing, they're not the same team on the road. Well, the common denominator there is whenever they do travel, they're traveling time zones away
True.
to play those games, whereas
That's
they're
very true.
not here. So we'll see if that makes any kind of difference. It may not. It may just not. They're not in the friendly confines of the Coliseum. So maybe that's just what it is. Maybe they travel, they just don't play well. But I think they'll play well. I'm like you. I'll take the over because I think it's going to be some fun. I think it's going to be a fun game. I
Yes,
do.
I
I
agree.
think with
Yeah.
with Oregon, USC defense is okay. The Oregon defense is good, solid unit, but the USC offense is elite, and the Oregon offense is okay, especially with
Hmm.
the wide receivers and stuff like that. So
Right.
yeah, I'm going to take Oregon to win it as well, straight out. USC to cover, and boy, I tell you, if if this game was at home for USC, I'd probably pick them too. I'm with you on that too. I would like them at home. I think just because if this is a neutral site, I'd almost pick USC too. The only
I
reason I'm
might very
taking
well too.
Oregon is
Yeah.
it's in Alton. That's probably the only reason I'm taking them here.
Right.
And and that really helps the Big Ten big picture if USC wins because now you're getting
Yes.
another team in the playoff probably because that's a
Absolutely.
signature win right there. And a 10-2 USC with a win at Oregon's getting in, and a
Absolutely.
10-2 Oregon's getting in, and Indiana
Yes.
and Ohio State. Now there's four Big Ten teams that's got a chance to get in. Five if Michigan pulls it out in a few weeks. Then they
Right.
got that.
Right.
Then there's decisions to be made because
That might
five's a
be
high number. Yeah.
Michigan's on the outside looking in, even though if they beat Ohio State. I mean, that would be the
Well,
best win. Otherwise, your best win's what? Nebraska, maybe?
yeah. I hope we're. I mean, for your sake, I hope we're talking about that at the
I hope
end of the
that's a problem
year
to have.
and
That'd be a good problem
arguing.
to
Yeah, and arguing
have.
about who should be in. So,
Great.
but we'll see.
Right.
But yeah, I'm
Yes.
with you. I'm gonna follow along. I'm gonna take Oregon to win, USC to cover, and the over because I think there's fireworks in this game for sure.
Yeah. All right. I like it. What was the next game that you want to touch on?
I might have had Kentucky Vandy only because it's SEC, and I think this is a dangerous game for Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
I do.
I'll let you kick it off then.
Yep.
You got a good start there.
I think it's dangerous because Kentucky is playing really well on offense right now. If you've not watched them in the last 3 or 4 weeks,
Ask Foreman.
this yeah, the freshman kid that's I can't remember what his name is, escapes me now, but he played really well. It's like he turned the corner in Texas game, and he lit
Yeah.
up Texas for 300 something yards. Kentucky should have won that game,
Yes, they should
and then
have.
he lit up Tennessee, but they just couldn't sustain that to keep up with the score Tennessee could do.
Right.
And so they're just playing really good football right now. And so and Vanderbilt, they're kind of hanging in there, but I
Yeah.
I just I don't know. I hope they win. I'm for Vanderbilt only because I want to ruin it the last Saturday of the
Let them.
year,
Yeah. Oh, sure. Right.
right?
Sure.
But
Fair.
I think this is dangerous. I think Vanderbilt fans will be puckering on fourth quarter with Kentucky. I just do. So I'm gonna take Vandy to win though because I've said before I believe in Diego Pavia. Kid's a winner, and they're going to score. The Kentucky defense is no good, so Vandy's going to put up points. So I'm going to take Vandy, but I'm going to take Kentucky to cover, and I'm going to take the under here. And well, 53 and a half. I don't know. This could get played in the 30s. Now I'm going to take the
Yeah.
over. I'm going to change. I'm going to audible here
Audible.
mid
Okay.
pick. Audible. Yeah. So I'm going to audible. I'm going to go over Vandy to win and Kentucky to cover the 9.5.
All right. Well, I'm glad you said that because I'm I think the shine has worn off Vanderbilt a little bit. Like, and I know Pavi has been, a Superman of sorts to keep them got to 8-2 and 4-2 in the conference. But you're right, Kentucky's been playing really well. I think this is a game that gets Stoops to 6-5, gets them bowl eligible. So I'm picking Kentucky to win the game, and I agree. I'm going to hit the over too. I just think this will be neither team is going to stop either team. So this might be the fireworks game. If USC Oregon isn't, I think this game might very well be. I don't see that either one of them put up a lot of fight. So yeah, I'm going to go Kentucky, say 33-31.
Yeah, I think it's played in the 30s too. High 20s, low 30s, maybe mid 30s. So yeah, that over under would have had to been 60 plus for me to take the under at that point.
Yeah,
But I
right.
was I was leaning under, and I was kind of looking at 53. I'm like, I know, I just see it in the 30s. I'm like, yeah, I just see it in the 30s. I do. And
Right.
last person with the ball or a field goal to win it,
That
and that's yeah.
yes.
Yep. Yep. I'm with you.
Yeah, that might be well. Yeah, Kentucky hits a banger at the buzzer. 33-31. Huge upset. Nashville melts down. Everyone gets drunk at whatever Silver's bars the closest to the
Well,
stadium there.
let me just go ahead and go on the record. It don't matter who wins that game. They're getting drunk on Broadway.
This is true, right?
Game
Yes, that's
doesn't
a good
matter.
point. And the
Makes
game
no
ends at,
difference.
5:30, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's perfect, isn't it? Right? Just
Yep.
stroll on down.
As sure as there'll be live music on Broadway in Nashville, there'll be people drinking and getting drunk no matter what happens over in Vanderbilt Stadium. So
It's a good point. Good point. All right, what was the next game that you had
I
on
had
your
Arkansas,
to-do
Texas.
list?
I'm scraping the bottom of the
Arkansas,
barrel here.
Texas. Okay,
Yeah.
that's well. We didn't have much of a choice, right? This is kind
No.
of an old what Big Eight game.
Yep.
Uh, Arkansas, Texas, that DKR. Which is interesting because Arkansas is a joke, but there's tickets are still going for $100. So you can tell this is like obviously this means something for Texas fans, like they're on the outside looking in probably. But old rivalry game, probably some nostalgia. This might actually be senior day for Texas. I'm not sure I think they close at A&M, so it might be
I
senior
think
day.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. So that might be why. It's Texas favored only by 8.5.
Seems low, right?
Over under 57.5. Yeah. Was I reading that right? 8.5.
Yeah, no, it is. It's 8.5. That's what I had too. I couldn't believe when I wrote it down. It's like 8.5. Arkansas?
There's a game like every week where like that seems really high or really low. For me, this is that one this week. I don't know how Texas is only favored by 8.5. Now I know they haven't been a juggernaut and they have their flaws and they've been really disappointing generally speaking, but Arkansas is just a bad football program right now without a coach, and I like Texas to cover this easily, frankly. The only thing about the total 57.5, I'm not sure Arkansas will do any part of that getting there. Um, I'm gonna say Texas wins. They cover the 8.5, but the under just hits barely. It's like Texas 40-13, something like that. Just barely under.
Gotcha. Yeah, I seen that 8.5, and I'm like, man, someone knows something somewhere that I don't know, because I've been
Right,
watching Arkansas all year, and I don't. I mean, anyone ranked should be automatically 10-point favorite or more against Arkansas. If you have a
right.
number beside your name in the rankings, you should be more than a 10-point favorite over Arkansas, especially at home.
I was just
In
saying, especially that
Fayetteville
should
at
be 13.
not. Yeah, in Fayetteville at not for the ranked 25th, whoever that is. Uh,
Right.
who is ranked 25th? That's ASU, Arizona State.
ASU
So
State.
if
Okay.
Arizona State was going to Arkansas at not in Fayetteville, they would be 10, right?
Yes.
They
Right. Right.
should
Right.
be. That's how bad Arkansas is. So I don't get this either. The only thing I can figure is someone figures, or most people, I don't know how many people go into doing these lines, but does Georgia beat Texas twice? And while Texas may not lose the game, they look like crapola playing against Arkansas because
Sure.
of the beating they took last week in Athens. So
Right.
maybe that plays a part. It's just, but I think they can sleepwalk and still beat this Arkansas team by 14 plus. Taylor Green will have to play out of his mind for them to score points. That's why I'm gonna take the over on this one, because I think that's got to somebody somewhere knows something that I just don't know. If this was a regular
I
run of the mill, I would take the under in Texas doing the heavy lifting of that 57. So, but I with this Texas defense was exposed a little bit last week, and the way Georgia was able to kind of score on them, I think Taylor Green will get some points. But I think Texas wins and covers. I'm with you on that, but I'm gonna take the over. I think there's more points than people maybe think, because the Arkansas defense is terrible and the Texas defense is just kind of meh, going through the motions.
don't care anymore. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's a
and
good
and
point. Yep.
and also, how many times have we seen teams that are inferior to one team or another come in and try to ruin something? Come in and try to get
Right.
this. This is the Arkansas bowl game right here.
Right.
So
Yes. Exactly. Right. Go beat an old
maybe they
foe
play well enough. Yeah,
in Austin, and yeah, and Texas is just sluggish and lets them hang around. I mean, we saw Texas be sluggish and just not play well against Kentucky,
they
Florida.
can do it.
That's just who they are. That's certainly who they are. So yeah. Also, it's senior day, so this would be quite the upset for Arkansas. I think
Oh,
for
Sarkeesian drops
sure.
this one, man. Oh,
Oh,
Matthew
that's gonna.
McConaughey may kick him out of Austin on his own.
Yeah, exactly. I want to say his seat will get hot, but people will start kind of finding their getting their pitchforks kind of shined up a little bit for going into next year. And if they get hammered by A&M, which is a likely, not even
Could
like
very
a
well happen.
possibility,
Yep.
you sit there at Texas game, it's Texas at 7-5. Oof, that would not
With
be
that
good starting
roster,
out as a.
and that
Mm-mm.
quarterback that had the hype to start off the year, dude, that you just that can't happen. It can't
This is
happen.
supposed to be the year. This is a
Yep.
junior arch, and you have talent on both sides of the ball. You're supposed to have an elite offensive line. You have elite skill guys, and nothing has gone well. I mean, the defense has played well at times, and they've done okay. But like complimentary football, no, because the offense has just been pitiful by and large. And it's that was never more evident than last week against a good Georgia team, of course, but they just Texas couldn't do anything with move the ball. So, all right. So, which one's the next game?
I had well, we got Michigan, Maryland. You can go ahead and cover that if you want to, since it's
Sure. Yeah.
there.
Michigan, Maryland. Yeah, Michigan's traveled to College Park. The good thing there for Michigan is that's a high. There's a large amount of uh, fans, alumni that live in the DMV area, so they typically show up pretty well for these Maryland games. And Maryland being, not a very good football team right now, as evidenced by Michigan, who's played pretty awful the last 2 or 3 weeks, favored by 13.5 on the road. Now, they put it together well enough somehow to beat Northwestern despite 5 turnovers and 2 missed field goals. If they do that again against Maryland, they're going to get their ass kicked. I don't anticipate that's what's going to happen. However, they've again not looked very sharp the last 3 weeks. So I'm going to take Michigan's going to win this game. I don't. I just I'll believe it when I see it when they can cover something like that. 13.5. That's a. It doesn't sound like a big number based on if you look at records and uh, you know box scores and stuff, but I just seen them just play down the level of their competition, and I think this probably will be no different. Um, Michigan wins, Maryland covers, and the over hits.
The over.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, is it my turn?
Yes, go for it.
I said last week, and I've said it on the show, I don't know how many times, I will never take an over in a Michigan game until I see him hit an over.
They
Just
just
will
did
not
last
do it.
weekend. They barely, but they just did
Barely.
last weekend.
Yeah,
Barely,
but
right?
barely.
Exactly.
Right.
Right, right.
So I can't do it. And we go back to it. It's Underwood for you. It's Underwood. It's just they they're they can't push the ball down the field very well. Now they won't need to against Maryland. I'm with you. Michigan's gonna win this game. But I think Maryland covers because it's just not going to be a whole lot of points Michigan puts up. Just a straight Michigan offense that drives the field time after time without making mistakes and scoring
Right.
touchdowns. That's just not Michigan
No,
football right
no,
now. They're going to
no.
grind it, run it, throw out to the sideline a
Fumble.
lot. They're going to do that, right?
Yes.
And
And
so
fumble.
I think and Maryland can just come up with a few scores here and there to make it interesting and get under the 13 and then also under the 45. I mean, I got this game in the mid 20s for Michigan and then in the teens for Maryland. So, like 24-10, right? 27-10 and just kind of a slow 27-13, just kind of a slow, you know, Big 10 football game. That is, what's the weather? Is weather 53? Oh yes, the
It's
weather's
gonna be
not really an
it's gonna be
issue. Yeah.
fine. Yeah,
So, but
nice.
still,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. It was 60 in Chicago, and they was turning the ball over five
65 in
times.
Chicago. They turned the ball. Yeah,
So,
exactly. And
it is
this 2 field goals, neither of which were caused by wind.
right. So, yeah, I'm with you down the line on that one, except for the over under. I'm going to take the under on this one while you take the over, but everything else I agree with you on.
Well, for me, I'm probably being more optimistic than I should be because that 47, 45.5 is a big number, right? I mean, so I I'm expecting Maryland to get about 17 points, right? Which means Michigan needs at least 4 touchdowns or, get up to near 30 to cover that. This is maybe just my optimism, which is idiotic. So I'm gonna stick with the over and hope that I'm way, way right this time.
Yeah, it's tough because a year. I mean, yeah, that's a 45 and a half. So I mean, if Maryland scores 14 or less, that means Michigan's got to be in the 30s, and I just don't.
Right. It's like 30
Are
to
they getting
17. I mean,
there?
they may get
Yeah,
it by the hook, right? Yeah, they get. I mean,
right.
you've seen. I mean, so not to belabor it, but like, despite the fact that Underwood had 2 bad interceptions and they had a bad fumble exchange, he made some elite throws
Yes,
too. 2 of which are on third down, one of which got him into field goal range to win the game. So
you could see it in there. You could
he
see it in
has
there.
the
Some
talent.
throws.
It's
Yeah,
just like they finally let him do more RPO, like actually like make decisions. And I think it's just like those are a play that you have to rep. You have to have live game reps to get better at it, right? And if you're not
right,
doing that a lot, if it's mostly just like a handoff, it's not a real read, then you're not really learning. You need to make some mistakes like that. You need to see, oh shit, I forgot that weak linebacker is sagging. That safety is just sitting on that route because they know that's what we've been doing a lot successfully. So you hope that those are just learning opportunities, and I hope they play it like that again. Like they need more experience, more snaps, more reps doing that because he can excel at that. especially if that's going to be something they want to try to do against Ohio State. You need reps, live
Right.
game reps. Practice reps are only so helpful. So we'll see. And if they're able to put some things together and clean up those mistakes, that's where I'm, cautious optimism they could put things together. But, we'll see how that goes.
I
So,
think
all
I
right.
think
What
they should
was,
power. I think
well,
they should power run Underwood more. Myself,
they absolutely should. Right.
I think
I
they
would
should
like to
off
have two
tackle
fullbacks
and
in there.
yes, and just and off tackle and then anything second down and like five or less would be Underwood time, and especially with no Justice Haynes right now, and you may never see him
Right.
again.
And
So
no, probably not.
yeah, so I mean it's Underwood. I would power run that kid outside and like I said, RPOs try to incorporate that still and get him out on the edge a little bit too, and just I mean I would lean on him on offense and the freshman wide receiver
Andrew Marsh. Yeah.
Marsh, yeah, yeah. It would be
Yeah.
him and Marsh because they seem to be. Cause that's going to be we talked about last week. That's
They're
a connection
connecting.
you better get used to, folks, because
Yeah.
that's going to be around for a good long time. But I
Those
would
two
power run
18
him
year olds
more.
that won that. Mhm.
I would
Yeah. I
design
wish they
six
would.
eight
Like,
runs for him a game. Would
they absolutely should. Like, 'cause that's something you're going to need to do to beat an Ohio State, right? That's an elite
hmm
defense. You're going to need to do more than what you've been doing now. Like, I'm serious. Like, two fullbacks, Bredesen and maybe tight end, which they could run as an H back, whatever. And you get those two in front ahead of him. The play's going to go one way, left or right. Have unbalanced line to one side, follow the fullback. I mean, I'd be hard to stop,
play the
especially in
numbers.
short yardage
Yep.
stuff, right? Right, absolutely. Like that's why I'm a huge fan of quarterbacks running the ball like that when they have the skill to do that because you're plus one in that box.
Yep.
You're gonna have to plus one with that running back and or fullback as a lead blocker, and that's what they want to do anyway. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't try a little bit of that, mash that here and there. Not necessarily with two fullbacks. That may be crazy, but certainly they're down. It's not completely sure that Jordan Marshall's going to play because he got dinged towards the end of that Northwestern game. So now we're looking at a true freshman running back who has maybe a
Yeah.
dozen carries and a
Uh-huh.
walk-on running back who
Right.
looks okay. He runs a little too upright. He runs pretty hard, but that's going to be tough to do. They're going to give the ball to Bredesen, their fullback. So I guess the fullback dive's going to be back a lot this weekend because that's going to be something that's about the best you
That's
can do,
so Big
probably.
Ten.
So yes, right, exactly, right. I hope the dive is back. Just wedge plays, dive,
Yep.
just run that all day. And if you get 4 or 5 yards every time, just do it. Get the hell out of there, somewhat healthy and ready
Right.
for Ohio State. Just look confident, look clean, and work on a few things and come out there healthy and with a W. Then I'll be happy with that. Going into Ohio State game 9-2 with six freshmen uh, on offense, three offensive linemen, and then two 18-year-olds at quarterback and wide
Yep.
receiver. I mean, this is not supposed to be the year anyway, but like it's a pretty good sign that they're kind of putting things together. And even with an awful game against Northwestern, they found a way to put things together, enough snaps, and the defense held well enough. So yeah,
See,
that's that
if
game.
I would have told you coming into the year that you were going to be 9-2 going into the Ohio State game at the end of the year, you take that all day, right?
100%. I actually thought this was
Yeah.
probably a four, maybe a five loss season because of it looks like it's Bryce Underwood or bust, and that's absolutely the case. There is no backup quarterback. I mean, technically there is, but there's not. If they have to go to a backup quarterback, it's lights out. They won't be able to do anything because the kid just can't throw the ball. He's shown he just can't throw the ball. Um, yeah, so the big games were of course, Oklahoma, which was going to be tough to win, right? And then USC and Nebraska, two road games, those three road games. If you could win two of those, you're in pretty good shape. You're in really good shape. If you could win one of those three, you had to win one of those
Which,
three, right? Because then you
right,
get, yeah.
right.
So, and that's what they did. They beat Nebraska on the road. They looked pretty competent there. Turns out Nebraska's, kind of a, you know, not a great football team anyway. By the way, Raiola's brother was committed to
Yeah.
Nebraska too. I don't know if you saw that. He decommitted. So I don't know if that means anything about the future of
Okay.
Raiola at Nebraska or not, but
Those
it's
rumors have been out
interesting
there for a while.
nonetheless.
Yep.
hmm Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Maybe it was today. I think I saw it today. That might have happened
hmm
yesterday. So interesting. They like the Latif kid. He's playing pretty well, honestly. The freshman quarterback for Nebraska. So hell, I don't know. I mean, there's something brewing there, maybe or not, but we shall see. What was the next game you had on the
I'll
to-do list?
hit Georgia Tech. This one could be interesting
Georgia
when we
Tech. Oh
pick it.
yes, 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 absolutely. All right. I just went for yeah. Go. You go ahead and do this one.
Do this one first.
Yeah,
Pitt
go
at
for it.
Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech 2.5 point favorite. Over under 62.5. Uh, I'm gonna go Pitt here. I'm gonna go Pitt. I've watched Georgia Tech. I've watched Georgia Tech lose only to somehow, some way, come out with a win by just flat out
Yeah.
miracles enough to know that this and Pitt kind of needs it now. After the beating they took last
Right.
week against Notre Dame, they need this win. Georgia Tech's not playing good football. They've been
Mm-mm.
skating by. You can only skate by so many times. The numbers say you only get so many of those a year. And
Right.
I think Georgia Tech's in trouble this game. I'll take Pitt, of course, to cover the 2.5, but I'll take the under. I
Hmm.
think it's an ugly game, but I'll take the under. But I think, and I say it'll be an ugly game. It'll be high 20s, low 30s, like 31,
Yeah.
31, 30, right? I mean, like a last second field goal, something like that for Pitt to win it. But I think Pitt hangs around, they score, they have to have it, and Georgia Tech finally runs out of luck. So I'm going to take Pitt to cover, of course, and the under on this one.
Yeah, I can see that. My first thought is okay. Yeah, the over is going to hit because I see them playing both teams are in the 30s. One of which maybe the so I'm thinking like 35, 33. I'm going to say with Tech, they've somehow managed to weasel their way with smoke and mirrors into winning games, including last weekend. Um, the ACC kind of needs Georgia Tech to win too, by the way. So does that mean they're going to get a call or two here and there? I don't
Maybe.
know. But I would not be surprised if we woke up and the newspaper said, let the people wait till the next day to see what the score is. This is not 1980 anymore. But the newspaper said Pitt upsets Georgia Tech. Like, okay, that's not terribly
Uh,
surprising. I'm going to go with Tech, and actually I think they'll cover that 2.5. That's a number that's not crazy. It, Sharps don't like Georgia Tech very much, so you're favored by 3 at home. You're only getting 2.5. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Um, yeah, Georgia Tech covers by a hair, and the over hits comfortably.
Okay. Yeah. So that would be a fun one right there. I think that's an
Yes, right.
underrated, probably fun game. Before the Tennessee was at 6 o'clock, and then well, no, you will get to
Yes,
see
yep.
all of it, but it's
No,
at
you won't
night
see
in
much of it.
Atlanta
Yep.
down there. So, but yeah,
Get something started. Start
yep.
watching. Get you warmed up for Tennessee, Florida.
Oh, I'll be well warmed up before that right there kicks
You
off.
lathered up.
Oh yeah. Yep. I had the last two I had before the Tennessee Florida game. I have Nebraska Penn State, and I have BYU Cincinnati.
All right, let's do BYU Cincinnati. It's right here in front of us. BYU travels across the country to Nippert Stadium, Cincinnati, Ohio. This is, certainly no, BYU's in playoff mode, right? They're sitting at 11, and they can continue winning. This Cincinnati team had lost to Nebraska to start the season. They won, I guess they had won 7 in a row, and then they dropped the last two. It's a little tougher competition. BYU favored by 2.5. Total over under is 54.5. I guess I'll kick this one off since you just did
Yeah,
the last
go.
guy.
Yeah.
Um, man, this is tough. I think BYU's a good football program. Yeah, it's just like the cross country flights and those kinds of things. The game's at 7 o'clock, and
Yep.
Cincinnati's a pretty salty team.
It lines up for me too,
I'm
dude.
going with
Do it.
I'm going with the upset. I'm going with Cincinnati to
Yep.
win this game straight up. I do think that the under hits is going to be just by a nose. I think both teams play in the mid 20s or so, give or take. So 24, 23, something like that. So yeah, give me Cincinnati with the upset and the under.
Same. I have the over actually though. I think there's more points than
Sure.
that, but because I think there's fireworks. But yeah, two in a row loss for Cincinnati. They need it. BYU is a good football team. If this game was in Salt Lake, I'm taking BYU every day of the week.
Absolutely.
At
Absolutely.
not in Cincinnati, they're going to need it. That place is going to be rowdy. And with a ranked BYU
Yep.
team coming in there, they can spoil the BYU playoff picture with a win.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I think everything lines up for Cincinnati to win this game. Everything just
Yeah.
points to Cincinnati winning. So when it all points that way, I'm not gonna go against the grain on that one. I'm gonna pick Cincinnati as well. Take the over because I think this game gets played in the 30s by both teams. It's 54 and a half. So I think it gets played in the
Yeah.
30s. I think there's points. I think there's fireworks. I think it's a game that whatever's else is happening that night. If that game's crap, then go over to this game and watch it because this is gonna be a fun one.
100%. The one we don't have to talk about ahead of that, but also just because the tickets as low as $8. Illinois travels to Camp Randall Stadium, where the tickets have never been $8 since, well, maybe last week when they were $10. Uh, that's
It's
so
terrible.
bad to see, man. That's just awful, and they are committed to him. They've come out and said so. Chris McIntosh, their AD's fully supportive, so. I don't know. You better round up some cash to start bringing some hosses in and go back to run the football like you did for the previous 30 years. If you want to get back to that. What was the other one? Penn State and
Nebraska.
what would you say it was?
And
Nebraska. Yeah,
Penn
yes,
State,
yes,
yeah,
yes, yes.
and I only went there because it's a Big Ten team. It's a Big Ten game, and so there wasn't a whole lot of good ones. Like there wasn't a lot of good SEC teams, so I split them up.
Right.
I went BYU Cincy because that's fun, but and then I went that one because the Penn State's favored by 9.5 over Nebraska. Now that's a Raiola less Nebraska, so but
Yeah.
a winning, Nebraska is what 7-3
Right.
over
Right.
a 4-5, a 4-6 Penn
Four,
State,
six.
and
Yep.
Penn State gets a 9.5, gets favored by 9.5.
That's
That's a huge number.
right.
That
That's
caught
that
my eye.
that number to me. My first thought is, and I'll let you pick, is that first that 8.5 is they're leaning heavily on Penn State's defense, making life miserable for that freshman quarterback at night in State College
Hmm.
because that's a 7 o'clock kick, Eastern kick. So, yeah, what say ye? What will happen in Beaver Stadium?
I think Penn State rolls. I do. I think I don't know if they come with the same intensity they did against Indiana, but I don't think they'll have to. But like you just alluded to, at night there they could get a win against it's an okay Nebraska team. It's not they're nothing special, but I think
Right,
it's what the main thing it's going to do is it's going to put Matt Rule squarely on a seat that is warm because you got. It's a 4-6 Penn State team. They're not any good
right,
this year for whatever reason. They
mm-mm,
got the roster to be good,
right, right,
but they're just not. So, but I
right.
think the Indiana loss shows you what Penn State can be, and I think you get a.
Hmm.
I think they're a lot of that Saturday, and I think they win. I think they roll. I think it's never in doubt. I'll take the over as well. I think they score a lot of points. I don't think Nebraska lifts any of this. I mean, this has 35-10 written all over it for me, and then just Penn State rolls through there, and they celebrate in Happy Valley. It's a happy day in Happy Valley, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, uh,
Well, yeah.
and for an okay Penn State team, but I think they roll. I think they roll right through Nebraska. I think Nebraska looks terrible this game.
I do as well. By the way, tickets as low as $5. That's the lowest we've seen so far
Yeah,
of all the other
just
teams.
get to the
So,
stadium is what that is. Get
five
in the stadium.
dollars. If
Yep.
that's seriously get in, like just $5 to go sit where, unless you really love your seats, like you've been there before and you love your seats, then you buy like a seat on either side of you too, so you get all kind of maybe the seats in front of you, some leg room. You can buy like 5 seats. You got sides and you got feet up, and you're with your back, so lean back. All for about $25. You can
44
still
degrees,
you
so it
could
ain't gonna
really
be that cold.
you could no, that's not bad. No, not at all. I'm with you too because Penn State is 2 wins from being in a bowl, and what we thought they looked like, when they lost 5 in a row just a couple weeks ago. The bowl was like are you kidding me? Playoffs, kind of thing.
Right.
But they play Maryland next weekend, which is another winnable game. So I can see
Yeah.
Penn State actually getting to a bowl game. So that's their motivation now.
There's your incentive. That's right.
Um,
Yep.
right, like that's why I'm going with Penn State. I think they roll too. I think they make life miserable for Lateef, or the freshman quarterback for Nebraska, because that defensive front seven, especially their front four, will get after Nebraska. Like, Michigan had 8 or 9 sacks, and this Penn State defensive line they have some guys, Denai Sutton on the edge, for one edge, like he can get after the quarterback. And I think Nebraska's offensive line has been atrocious all year. I think that continues. I would be surprised if Penn State had near double-digit sacks, in fact. So I'm going to go with Penn State. To run the ball all over them and have a few explosives. I like your 35-10. I don't want to steal that, but I think that's probably close to being what it was. I'm gonna say 38-13. Penn State 38-13. So that way over hits, and Penn State covers comfortably.
There we go. All right. It's time.
There's one game. Oh, what was that game we were going to talk about last? Let's see. Oh, it's probably
Notre
Rutgers
Dame,
and Ohio State,
Rutgers,
right?
Ohio State. That's what it was. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Rutgers
Well,
in
I
the
tell you what,
upset.
we don't have to talk about this. The only thing I'll say about the Ohio State game and Rutgers is interesting is that Carnell Tate has not played for the last 2 games, and
Okay.
Ryan Day's been kind of coy about what's going on. We talked about this 2 weeks ago, where he looked like he was okay on the sideline. Now there's some talk that maybe he has like a calf injury of some sort. You know, Also, the problem for the Ohio State is Jeremiah Smith was walking around pretty lame after that game last weekend against UCLA. Like he came up lame and didn't play the last quarter and a half, something like that. Um, so I don't know if either one of them's going to go this weekend, which maybe that's good because they have enough, other
Yeah.
5-star
They're
wide
fine.
receivers
Yeah.
and talent on there.
Just plug in another 5-star wide
Rutgers is one
receiver.
of the
Yeah.
worst teams. Yeah, exactly. Well, they'll probably be able to run the ball, whatever they want. And Rutgers is awful about stopping the run, but it is interesting because Day's been very coy about wide receiver in particular injury information going back a few years. So a couple years ago, Jackson Smith and Jigba, um, he had missed several games, came back against Iowa, played. I can't remember if he played a half or part of the game, came back out, and never suited up for Ohio State again. That was not announced, formally at all, like he's done for the
Uh-huh.
year. So there's these two kids here. Obviously Carnell Tate is a kid who's going to be a first round draft pick. Smith's got one more year if he can come out.
And he's already got a ring.
Come out. They
It's
both
already
have
got a ring.
So Smith and Jigba kind of shut it down a couple of years ago. I wonder if Tate doesn't do the same thing, right? I mean, if it's borderline, you don't like he's getting a nice paycheck, right? But his paychecks are going to increase significantly in April.
Oh, yeah.
If he shows
Oh,
out
yeah.
like we think he would, right? So
He's already first round. He's already first round. He don't have to play another snap for Ohio State. Yep.
No, exactly. So we've seen what you can do down the field, catching balls over the middle on the sideline. You're a 5-star elite while you're first round draft pick. So, and that's the only thing to keep an eye on the next couple of weeks. What those two guys do, the week of Michigan game, at least, especially
That's
this
what I
weekend
was
didn't
going to
really
say.
matter
Yep.
to get them healthy, whatever. So we'll know, a couple days before the Michigan game, if they've been practicing, if they're going to go. That's a huge difference in that game, and that's not, that's pretty obvious, obviously, but it makes you wonder if Day's just trying to keep the media at bay because he knows that these guys may be shutting it down. At
Opting
least
out.
one of them may be shutting it down. Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting take.
Quietly.
That's really interesting, and I agree. You'll know Michigan week. If Carnell Tate don't suit up against Michigan, you will never see him in scarlet and gray again. You won't. He's done because he'll go ahead and check out. And there's we could do a whole show about kids opting out and opinions on that and all that and the pros and cons of doing it. We certainly could.
Right.
We go another 50 minutes on that, just this topic alone.
Right.
So
Easily.
yeah,
Right. Exactly.
right. But I wouldn't, I wouldn't. It makes sense. I mean, that lie that checks out, right? You've already got a national championship. Maybe you got dinged up a little bit and like, you know what? I don't want to play hurt because I got to go to a combine. And who's to say whatever's hurt don't get hurter, if that's a word.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And so,
worser. Worser.
yeah. That's much worse, or it could get. Right. So
More
I don't,
worser or something.
I don't blame him so much for that because you could stop. He didn't honestly. He didn't have to play this whole year to be a first round draft pick. He could have shut down and not
No.
played at all. Now you're not going to do that because you NIL money and you need to
Right.
be.
Exactly.
NFL teams want to see you out there playing. Like they want to see you on tape out there playing before they draft you. They don't
Right.
want to draft someone that quits on their
Right.
team a whole year before the draft. They don't want to. That's a big problem
Yeah.
when it comes to interviews, when it comes to the combine and stuff. So you need to be out there playing. But yeah, you're 2/3 of the way through, then you're like, you know what? I've got stuff on tape. I'm a little hurt. Let's drag this out. Let's get healthy before the combine. And I've got my natty. You guys go win yours, and I'm out of here.
Right.
That
I'll be here
that
to
checks
support you.
out.
Rather,
Yep.
right. Exactly.
And he just stands on the
I think
sideline. If he don't suit up against Michigan, I think that's exactly what it is.
that's absolutely right. Um, it's really interesting. I think if one of them is going to play, it's going to be Smith. Um, again, they didn't say what the injury was, but he was walking like it could be back spasms. It could have been a hamstring. The way he was walking was just really strange and stiff looking. So they never said what it was. But he also said early in the year, before the season started, that he didn't necessarily guarantee come out and say, I guarantee we're going to win. He's like, we're not going to lose to Michigan again. So he's made this kind of statement early in the year. So he's the
Right.
kind of kid that makes me think like, all right, this kid's a grinder. This kid's a dog. He's more likely to probably to play than Tate would be. And maybe I'm completely wrong, but it's interesting to keep an eye on the next because there are
Sure.
several articles out there by the Buckeye beat writers and fans and stuff that are wondering the same thing. So there's something to it maybe. So all right. Well, last but not least, certainly is the game that's quite dear to your heart, near and dear to your heart. Let me set the stage. Tennessee, Florida. It's the ABC primetime game. I assume that's Fowler and Herb
I would
Street are
imagine
calling
it
this one.
probably
I
would
didn't look
be.
at that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that means what? You know what that means, right? We'll have to deal with Herb Street. Now it's a late game. He had plenty of time. I know there was one time he was going to do a game somewhere, and he left early from the set, and you had to watch him go with his dog all the way to the damn airport to get on the plane to fly out.
Yeah.
So,
Where's game day this year?
oh,
This weekend?
they're in Oregon.
Oh, they are.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, that's not happening then. Although that's a CBS game.
Yeah, yeah. If the game
I
day's
guess you
over
could
at
fly
yeah,
across.
it's over at 9 out there.
That's
You can get
by
on a plane
11.
and
Yeah, I
yeah,
suppose that's a
yeah,
4 hour flight. Yeah, it would be the
yeah.
first. You're right. That's
You can make
exactly what's
that.
going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ben Hill, Griffin Stadium, your favorite place to be. You've been there a couple times, not for about 20 years now. And one
Two
of the
and one
reasons you
there,
wouldn't
baby.
go down there is you're not going back because Tennessee traveling to Florida might as well be traveling to New Orleans to some voodoo shop because Ben Hill Griffin Stadium is like Kinnick Stadium in Iowa for the rest of the country. Going in that place, there's just something weird happens. There's the bad energy hanging over for the anyone that goes in there, and for Tennessee, going to Florida is amplified by twofold. Tennessee hasn't won there since '03. If I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Correct. That's right.
'03.
September 20th,
Um,
2003. 12
so
o'clock noon kickoff
'03.
local time.
Did
24-10. Tennessee wins.
did
Not that I remember that or
Did
anything,
they
but
have did they have a Hail Mary touchdown in that first half or
uh,
something
yeah,
in that
yep,
game?
sure
December?
did. Yep.
I don't remember that, but that seemed familiar. There's
Yeah,
been a
it
few Hail
was
Marys that's gone. You're not
James
against you, but
Banks.
they're against you
James
guys
Banks
unless
caught it.
James Banks.
No.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. All right. So this this is the year Tennessee's supposed to, erase the curse or whatever you want to call it, right? The Tennessee's favored by 4.5. The total's 57.5. We've seen this Florida team be really bad. They fired Napier, 3, 4 weeks ago. They're winless since then. They were not good last year. They had an awful schedule as far as like talent or who they had to play. Uh, and now Tennessee comes in, who's playing well. Like their losses are to legitimate teams: Oklahoma, Alabama, and Georgia, right? And all
All
those
playoff
games,
teams.
Tennessee either led in, all playoff teams. Tennessee led for some of those games. They were in it for all of them. And you could argue they should have won a couple of those games, including the Georgia game. They're a missed field goal from sitting there at 8-2 at the worst, right? And
Yep.
still looking at the playoffs. So um, without a lot of help, I don't know that Tennessee's had a chance there. But so, all right, I got the stage set for you. I'm going to let you
Yep.
take over because this is your
Well,
baby. And
for sure.
yeah,
And go ahead. You go ahead and pick this though, because I need to. I don't know.
okay, okay,
I swear this is the God's honest truth. Right now, I don't know who I'm going to pick. I have no idea. I've thought about it all day. I've talked to people at work that are Tennessee fans, and I've said the same thing. Show tonight, I have no idea who the hell I'm going to pick in this game. I know who I want to pick. I know who I
right,
probably should pick, but I don't know who I'm going to pick. So you go.
yeah,
Maybe you talk me in
fair,
and out. I've got some stats on my
okay,
side. I'll go last, and then we'll get into the surprise.
that makes sense. Very good. Yeah, he's got some gems. I don't know what they are, but he has some exciting, interesting,
Yeah.
if you will, notes to share. So here's the thing: the Florida, they are talented. They're more talented than their record says they are, right? I think like they've actually finally put together, like can or have put together pretty good defensive performances several times this year. Now the offense has been just brutal, including Lagway throwing 5 picks against LSU, for example, um, getting smacked around at Kentucky 38-7 or 35-7, where that was. Florida is able to kind of hang with Georgia. They hang with Texas. They get smashed by Kentucky. I just don't know what you're going to get out of Florida. What I do know I'm going to get out of Tennessee is some offensive plays. They're going to get some big, big plays. That's what Tennessee's done all year to every team they played, right? So there's going to be some explosives. Now, the problem is that from what I can tell, Tennessee's, I wouldn't say an Olay defense, but they're not exactly, 85 Bears either. And
No.
somewhere in between there, right?
Yeah.
So look, I think
Right. Yeah. I know, man. I
I
know.
just see this game and through my eyes and through your eyes and through broken remote controls and just awful, awful losses, Hail Mary losses. It's one of those things where, look, as a Michigan fan, I lived this for 20 years too. It's an Iowa State game with one win until 2021. Um, I saw this games they should have won, games they had on had won and they figured out a way to lose. I'm gonna go with your Vols. I hope it's not a jinx, right? I think this is Tennessee wins this game. I'm not convinced that they win this convincingly. Now, 4.5 is not a big number, but I've seen enough of these games that if Tennessee's going to win this, I don't. I just don't know if Florida seems to be, at least the way they're talking, like they are getting up for this game. Like this is their last game. This is their
Yeah.
Super Bowl because they play Florida State next week. So there's that. So they have something to play for, right? A little bit, kind of. Like it's not going anywhere. Can't go to a bowl game or anything. But if you squint, you can see Florida, being motivated for this game, right? Um,
Oh, they're gonna be
I
motivated.
am going to go with Tennessee to win this game. I'm going to see Tennessee wins this game. It's going to be like, what's the over under? 57.5. I'm going to
57
say
and a
it's,
half.
yeah, I'm going to go Tennessee 33-30. Um, and you're going to be shitting your pants for about 3 hours, which
Yeah.
is
Oh,
not all that
I'm gonna
different
be.
than every other year, I
I might
guess.
do that anyway. Yeah. I might just do it anyway. no matter what happens, just for the fun of shitting my pants.
I'm in for this game, but maybe this is for.
It depends on
Oh
if we're
boy.
winning. If we win it, I'm gonna be crying and shit my pants. If we lose, I'm gonna be crying and
Yes,
shit my
right.
pants. So either way,
Shit my pants. Right, exactly.
yeah, right.
Either way, there's
So
going to be
crying and shit my
bourbon
pants.
consumed as
Yeah,
well. So
yes. Oh,
yeah,
for
either way,
sure.
it's going to be.
Yep.
It's
All
going to
right.
be loud inside your house, one way or another, too. Right?
Yes.
Fair.
It's yeah. Okay. It's going to be allowed in Ben Hill Grayson.
Yeah.
The Florida players are all
Yes.
saying they want to keep this streak alive. They have something to play for. At this point, they got to conjure up stuff to play for. There's no bowl game inside. This
Yes.
is the bowl
No.
game, guys. Keeping this streak alive against Tennessee in the swamp is the bowl game. That's how it's probably getting pitched by Billy Gonzalez in the Florida locker room.
Absolutely.
Interesting notes on Florida. Florida has scored 71 points in the first quarter and 73 points in the second quarter all year long. Total. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Second
not
half
bad.
Florida. Yeah, second half Florida, it drops. 37 points in the third quarter, 27 points in the fourth quarter total all year.
The whole season?
The whole
Oh,
season. The whole season.
they're averaging less than they're barely averaging a field goal in the fourth quarter.
They have been outscored 75 to 27 in the fourth quarter this year.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That alone, you're lucky you got 3 wins.
Right. I've seen that. I was like,
Well,
holy cow.
I got to look at their 3 wins, like
Yeah.
one of which is against, like Long Island, of course.
Yeah, which was 77 to
Somehow
nothing or whatever it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And then the Texas game.
55-0, which is
and then Mississippi State. That's
Texas
the 3.
game. Mississippi State, right? That's it. And both games should have been easily lost. You could flip a coin, right? I mean, and they played Kentucky or Georgia tough. Get hammered.
Yeah, that was their Super Bowl there.
At Ole Miss pretty tough too, right?
Yep.
That was that
when Florida's motivated, they play pretty well. Now they may not win,
yes,
but they play well. They play good football. The roster's good at Florida, and you said it. They are not. The roster does not. If you look at the roster, it doesn't say 3-7. It just don't. It's just bad quarterback play, and you don't make winning plays. That's Florida football this year.
Right.
So, one quick thing: did you take Tennessee to cover or Florida to cover the 4.5?
Florida's going to cover the 4.5.
Yeah, Florida covering the 4.5.
Tennessee wins like third. Okay. I got Tennessee 33-31.
Okay. All right. I looked down at my picks. I didn't see on there. Okay. All right. All right. So that's the Florida stats I have as far as for the game. So I'm gonna pick this with my brain and take Florida. And it hurts my heart where Jesus lives, but that's what I'm gonna do. Only because we have been better in Florida in 05. We were better. Yeah. We were better in 15. That was the 4th and 14 game. We're better in 17. That was the Hail Mary by Felipe Franks. Yep. You were better than Florida. It was a 3-9 Florida team, 4-8 Florida team in 23. Yeah, in 23 with Joe Milton when you went down there. And you were better then, and you lost by multiple scores. I've just seen better Tennessee teams go in there and lose for whatever reason. Who knows? It's bananas, right? Right. So I'm gonna take Florida to win. That means they cover. I'm gonna take the over as well because I think there's lots of points. The Tennessee, you nailed it on the Tennessee defense. They are not good. They get after the quarterback good. They score defensive touchdowns good. If they can do both those, and Lagway throws us the football, it's a rout because Aguilar has been wanting to. He will rebound. I think the offense plays well. There's a sour taste in their mouth from the Oklahoma game. The Oklahoma defense is elite, and they had so many things. They was in the red zone 4 times, scored 9 points against Oklahoma. They're right there. And so I don't think the Florida defense is Oklahoma's level at all. So, but I'm going to take Florida. No, I think there's a lot of points, and I'm going to take the over as well as you took the over. Okay. So that's it. That's my
Believe it when you
brain.
see it, huh?
Yeah, correct. And at this point, I'm gonna believe it when I see it. So that is
Yep.
the pick from this Vols fan, and I'll hopefully put this up before Saturday. So hopefully I can get roasted by the UT fans not picking them to win. I hope that happens on TikTok. Come at me,
Right.
bro. If we
Yes.
lose it,
Right.
if we win it
No, I
by
think
21, I'll take all the heat.
absolutely. Yeah.
So
Whatever. Those are like
right.
that's throw away your money and everything. Like that's well with our picks in particular. So I don't know if you want to segue to that with our SEC picks for the week. Uh,
Well, I
how
want
much
to.
money we
I
got?
want to. Well, I'm gonna. Well, we'll do that last. What I want to do now is
Okay.
the Florida Tennessee
Oh
03
yeah,
was
this
the
that's
last
right.
win
This
down there.
the 03.
So yeah,
Okay,
you
yeah. So
can.
what
You,
what kind of hijinks and shenanigans have happened since then?
funny you should ask. Now, one would say 2003 you won. That's not that long ago. I mean, how Chris? How long is it? I mean, that 2003. Well, to start off small, your sister and I met in February of '03, and we went to that game in '03.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
within 6 months of actually meeting each other. We went to that game in '03. We've now been married 20 years and have a 12-year-old. That's how long it's been. It's been
That's a pretty good
8,082
start.
days.
Wow.
600. Oh, it gets better, dude. I got good stuff here. Wait till you see. Well, you could drop the scoreboard because we're going to need.
Oh
Where
yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
this
That's
is
right.
this is
Yes.
this is going to be good. It's been 699,508,800 seconds since we beat Florida in Gainesville.
That seems like a
Eight,
lifetime. Sometimes it is.
18 different quarterbacks have started football games for the University of Tennessee since we beat Florida in Gainesville. 18 in
Holy
22
shit.
years. Hell, Keith Richards was 60 when we beat Florida last in, in
They were
Gainesville.
still touring a lot.
Yeah, yeah. The Lord of the Rings was the #1 movie, Return of the King, in 2003.
Oh my god.
Yep. The #1
Out of
song
fear.
was "In the Club" by 50 Cent. You can find me in the club,
Oh.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we should play that in the background right now. We get a
for sure.
copyright thing from it.
Here's a good one. You'll like this one. The Dow Jones Industrial average was 10,453. It sits at 46,148 now. So it's up 35,695 points since we beat Florida.
Oh
John
boy.
Jones, widely regarded as the best pound for pound and an MMA fighter that's ever lived. Most believe that about John Jones.
Yeah.
He came up, he trained with Greg Jackson, he entered the UFC, bum rushed everybody, won the title, won double titles, won a heavyweight, hit a lady that had a broken arm and was pregnant, run off, got busted for drugs and steroids. Yeah, that guy was 16 years old the last time Tennessee beat Florida in Gainesville. 16.
Not even mature enough. Not even mature
Yeah.
yet.
4 years before the iPhone was brought to market.
Yes.
4
Yes.
years.
07. Yes. 4 years. Right. Yeah.
This is a
Think
good
of a
one. You'll
flip
like.
phone or some awful Motorola shitty phone. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll like this one. The most popular gaming system back then, the PS2, barely
Oh
outperformed the
boy.
Xbox, the first generation Xbox, and the Nintendo GameCube.
The Cube.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, here's a fun fact, folks. Voyager 1 traveled 7.36 billion miles since Tennessee beat Florida last in the swap.
Which is about how long you'd walk to
I
if you were
would
able to see a Tennessee win, right? Would
I
you
would
walk
bear
that far?
crawl that many miles. Bear crawl over broken
Right.
glass
For a 1 point win.
for a
1 point win at the buzzer even.
31-30. Sign me up for it. Yep, sign me up. So
That's what I got.
beat Florida in 2003. 4 months and 14 days later, Facebook launched. So that's been a minute. We we won in '03, which is great for Tennessee fans.
Yes,
What's not great for the
absolutely.
world is we lost Johnny Cash, we lost Bob Hope, we lost Charles Bronson, we lost Barry White, John Ritter, and Robert Kardashian. These are so
In
good.
'03.
In '03. This is all '03.
Oh man, yeah.
Kim Kardashian,
And how old
speaking
were you
of,
then? Yeah,
I don't know, it's
you would have been in your mid
23,
20s, early
24, but
20s.
yeah, something like that. Yep.
So
Kim K was 22.
yeah, Kim Kardashian
Yep.
was 22.
4 years before the you know what tape leaked.
Oh, sure,
Yep.
yes.
And let's see. I think that's about it. Yep, that's the list. That is everything that, and I'm sure if I had more time, I could have come up with more. But that is my list of
Well,
everything
this
that's
the whole.
happened or in between the last time Tennessee went to Gainesville and won a football game.
That's funny because like Michigan's downfall with Ohio State started the year prior and continued by and large. Now they did win one game in there at home until 2021. Not till 2022. So 21 years had it been since Michigan had won in Columbus. Is this Tennessee's year to break the streak? I don't know. That team doesn't wasn't playing there. Like all those guys are graduated from college
Yeah,
25
no one
years
gives a
ago
shit. Yeah,
almost.
on each team, no one gives a shit about what happened in '03. They listen to those
No
stats, they
shit.
just laugh at them like it was a
Right,
lot of
right.
them. Some of them wasn't even born then. So a lot of them probably wasn't even born then.
Most of this team has it.
Yeah,
Most of your
probably.
team is not on this planet. Not at
So
all.
and
Yeah.
we're way better football team than Florida. But when it comes to playing down there, that
Yes.
don't mean jack diddly shit. It doesn't mean anything. I This is probably though, honestly, this is probably the widest margin between Tennessee traveling down there and the Florida team at home waiting for them as far as separation of the two teams. The Joe Milton team, that Florida
Right.
team was no good either, but the Joe Milton team was okay. You know, how Heupel got eight,
Right.
9 wins out of Joe Milton is miracle work.
That's actually it's coach of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And in 17 they were okay. It wasn't very good. Neither was Florida. In '05, that '05 Tennessee team was a national championship defense, but an offense couldn't figure it out. So they were offensively challenged. And I
Right.
mean, the last thing about Florida Tennessee is the natives are a little bit restless with Josh Heupel here
Sure.
because not because of the losses so much as just the time management and just kind of everything that led to them. You you ought to
Yes.
be you ought to be 10-9-1 right now is what you ought to be.
Yes.
Is what you I mean that's
Right.
that's well the 9-1, yeah, nine and
With
one
better
going into
game
the game.
management.
Right.
Yes.
At Alabama,
Right.
you just lost that game. Okay. Oklahoma,
You
you had
got beat.
every chance
Right.
to win. Georgia, you kick a 40-yard field goal and you're a winner
Jesus.
there. Like that's right there for you.
You pushed
And
out.
it's just
Yeah.
yeah,
You settled for a field goal because you pushed out late.
right. It's just squandered. And so for Heupel to kind of get a little bit of currency back with the fan base, this would go a long way. If you drop this one, I don't know when you ever win there because of the like we said before, like the margin between the two teams are so wide this game. I don't know
Right.
how much wider, especially if they hire Kiffin, then it ain't going to be any wider than
I
it
was
is
just
right
saying
now. It's only going to
it's
shrink.
no exactly right. Right.
So you just
100%.
if you're Hopway and you're Tennessee, you kind of gotta have it because you're not going to get this golden opportunity. You've had other golden opportunities and you couldn't get it done. This
Mm-mm.
is one that they say it's on a silver platter. It is no more than a silver platter than this game is for you. You have every advantage in every facet. You have a foundering Florida. The only thing that would make it better is if there's a 12 noon kickoff. If this was a 12 noon kickoff, then it's okay.
Yes.
That's got to happen now.
Right. You feel
Night
better.
game muddies the waters up a little bit. So because it's going to
You'll
be
be
loud in
lathered
there,
up,
and there's
man.
yeah right. They're
Lathered
going to be
up.
juiced up
Yep.
and stuff. So that the Florida team gets to sit around and watch everyone on game day pick against them, which will probably happen. Most of them will probably pick Tennessee. I'd say a few will pick Florida because of the history, right? But
History. Right.
you got to figure they'll be watching. They'll be plenty motivated to play this game. So we'll see. But yeah,
Oh
like I said
yeah.
again, If you don't win it now, I don't know when you ever do. And Heupel kind of needs it to calm this fan base down a little bit. Listen, we're getting ready to hopefully win 10 games this year. Knock Vandy out of a playoff if they win this weekend. Knock them out of the playoff. Go play in a really nice bowl game in Florida and maybe get to 10 wins a season 3 years in a row. There's a lot to look forward to, but it all starts
Yes.
in Gainesville, because you could go
Right.
7-5
Right.
as well.
Absolutely,
then-
you'd drop that Vandy game if you're
Right.
had your head hanging low.
Yep. Exactly right.
Mhm.
Especially you losing a heartbreaker, a field goal, or a fumble, or something weird, which always happens down there. You lose that, then you drop Vandy, and then you're going to Nashville to play in the Music City, or
Yep.
you're going
Right.
Mayo Bowl, whatever.
Right.
It's a fork in the road for Tennessee. It's a fork in the road.
Yep.
And so
Yeah.
you got to take advantage of it. So we'll see.
Yeah, and and he could say he's the guy that broke the streak. 18 quarterbacks is Joey Swaglar. It's either Joey Touchdowns is the guy that can get it done. 19th quarterback. We'll find out. 7:30 Eastern time on ABC. All right.
All right.
Well, so as we
Gambling
know,
picks.
if you watch this show, 14 weeks ago, Chris put down $147 on SEC home games, SEC home teams winning, because the stats say they win about a 70% clip over the last 5 years. And that includes the couple of years that Oklahoma and Texas have been in the conference as well. So about 70% over 5 years, the home team wins straight up, not over under spread, nothing like that, just straight up wins. So Krista said, well, let's put this to a test. So we starts out with FanDuel or whatever you were on before. What did you start with?
Bet ESPN. Start off on Bet ESPN. Yep.
And then ESPN
rolled over to FanDuel
to another app. FanDuel, yep. Yeah. I couldn't remember one way or the other. Just betting straight up, splitting, however many home games there are that you can bet. Like, Georgia and Sanford not going to be it's not going to be a money line pick available for that. So, but anything else is fair game. So, and also like Georgia, Florida, it's a neutral site game that didn't count. We're talking about home teams only in your own home stadium. So we put $147 down. You split it up however many ways each week, depending on the number of games. And tell us where we're at now and what we look forward to this weekend.
Sure. All right. So year to date, we are 43-25, 63.2%. Now, that sounds really dang good. If I just stop there, you'd be like, man, those guys are making money hand over fist. We should all do it, and we'll all be rich. Well,
yes,
you could all do it, but you certainly would not be rich. We were started at 147. We come into this weekend with $20.26 left in the bank. And we talked about it before. It's the home underdogs. They didn't hold up a part of the bargain, and we're going to have better data next year on this. Just stay tuned. Stay with us till next football season. This is going to get way more in depth than it did this year. It was just a science experiment, and we're going to make it full blown next year. We have much better numbers for you. So, but as it stands, 63.2%, $20.26 in the bank. 6 games I could bet on this week. They did not let me bet Mercer Auburn, Sanford A&M, Charlotte UGA, and Eastern Illinois at Bama. Those were off limits when it comes to money line, which those are really, yeah. And even if they let you bet it, it'd only be a couple of cents if you won it. So it's not like it's going to pay righteous bucks or anything. Well, we could bet on Mizzou at OU.
No righteous buck.
No, Kentucky at Vandy, Arkansas at Texas, Coastal Carolina at USC. That would surprise me. It was on the money line, to be honest with you. That one surprised me. Maybe it's because South Carolina's not any good.
South Carolina stinks, right? Yeah.
UT at Florida and Western Kentucky at LSU. Same thing, I guess. Is those teams so bad?
That's embarrassing.
They're going to open it up.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yep. So $20.26, and they're the last. We have 2 weeks. This weekend, next weekend, and we're done. So I divided that son of a bitch up as low as I could. $3.35 per game. We went this week. Yeah, all year it's been round numbers. I just did dollars and then whatever was left over, a
Yes,
few
right.
dollars, 5 cents, whatever it
Yeah,
was, because I wasn't gonna divide it on down into cents. Just wasn't gonna do it. Wasn't gonna waste my time.
right.
It's time to pinch the pennies.
Season's almost over now, though. Yeah,
Yes, right.
right. Yep.
So of those
The the
six,
the, the U.S. Mint's not making pennies anymore, so these are important
right?
pennies that are
Let's get
left
those.
here.
Yeah, right. Let's get rid of them. Get our nickels and our dimes in here. Uh,
Right.
looking at that list, 6-0 is squarely on the table. I think. I think you're likely. It
Yeah.
seems to be
Sure.
5-1 hits whenever these games. Mizzou, OU, Kentucky, Vandy,
Right.
Arkansas, Texas. You got to figure USC is going to beat Coastal Carolina. LSU is going to beat Western Kentucky. The big one hanging out there obviously is Tennessee at Florida. That's the one
Tennessee,
that could make
Florida.
it to
Right.
5-1.
Yep.
And I will gladly donate
100%.
$3.35 damn cents. That's
Awesome.
that's the like I would donate much more than that, Delaney, to guarantee a win.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely. You
saying.
put it a couple decimal points over.
I got a 12-year-old. I mean, where do I donate?
Yes. Right.
Where do
She's really sweet. She can cook. She's really
yes?
independent. Right.
Where do I drop her off for a win? Where does it happen? So
Right. Right. Exactly. Right.
it's oh man, I tell you, yeah. So 335, and I said 5-1. I think we're looking at 5-1 because I could see Tennessee winning that game Saturday night. I didn't pick it, but I can see them winning it. But every other game, Missouri and Oklahoma, we talked about that. It's low key dangerous, but
Yeah.
Kentucky at
Right.
Vandy's dangerous too. We talked about that too.
That's right. Well, I picked Kentucky to upset them,
Yes,
so
yeah, you did.
that
Yeah,
may go against what we want.
I think there's a 100%
Yeah.
chance we lose one of those three. Vandy, Texas, no, OU, Vandy, and Florida. Those three home teams. I think there's a 100% chance one of those three lose. I just do. I don't know which one.
Yeah.
I think they're all pretty close to being equal. Who could lose? But
Yeah.
one of those three
I
are losing.
I'd probably if I had to rank them, I'd say Oklahoma's least likely to lose, but the other two,
Right.
that's a coin flip. I'd probably say Vandy is more likely to win than Tennessee is to win at Florida. That's how I would rank them. I mean,
Right.
but I could be swayed either
You
way,
can,
honestly.
right. You could make arguments for every three of those games. If you did a start bench cut, you could make an argument for every one of those being your start.
Right.
I mean, maybe not so much
Yeah,
OU Missouri.
absolutely. Right.
That's tough to argue, but UK
Right.
Vandy and Florida Tennessee, you could absolutely argue that one as far as the visiting team come in and win that ball game.
Yeah. I have no idea what I'm going to see from any of the four teams, the last four teams
Mm-mm.
just mentioned. I know I'm going to get probably competent quarterback play from Oklahoma and elite defense from Oklahoma. Everything else, I have no idea. And probably explosive plays on offense for Tennessee.
Yes,
I
that'll
don't know
happen
what
too.
else is going on the rest of
Yeah.
those teams. Yeah, right. I think
So
Browns will have a couple big plays, like I just that's those are things that will happen. Now, will that translate to a win? I don't know, but
we'll see. One thing that gets lost, and the Florida defenses give up well over 200 yards rushing in the last 2, 3, 4 ball games. But they've been getting gashed. We don't run the ball very
yeah,
well,
right.
but that's because they've not really tried to run the ball very well because with those receivers and
Sure.
Aguilar, you leaned on that passing game. So, but if you could, if Bishop
Absolutely.
has, that's the key. If Bishop or Star Thomas or someone like that has 100 yards or more and a touchdown, I think that's a Tennessee win because you control the clock. You start
Yep.
you start really putting them in a grinder and making them drive and score touchdowns every single. Lagway put the ball in danger, and maybe you get a turnover. So
Right. That's actually a good point. I don't know the statistics on it, but um, like 23 out of the last 24, something like that, games,
yeah,
Michigan State, the team that ran the ball for more yards was the winner of that game. I think this might be true here because both offenses can sputter a little bit, especially Florida. If Florida's able to run the ball a little bit, I mean, if they could run the ball well against Tennessee, that might win that game for them because that
oh,
takes
oh,
the
Jaden Ball has a
pressure
big
off
game. They'll win
Lagway.
it.
He doesn't need to
They'll
throw
win it.
five interception.
Yep.
Right, right.
Jaden Ball has a big
And
game. They'll win
so,
it.
yeah, you're right. I'm gonna say whoever wins the rushing battle between the two teams is probably gonna win this game.
I think
I
so.
think it's gonna be close. But which is true of a lot of games. But you got a Florida team who's just putrid offensively, especially the second half, as evidenced by your statistics there. So Tennessee can get out. They need to get out early and make Florida play catch up. If they can do that, they'll cruise. Especially get to
Yep.
halftime, make some adjustments, and they'll cruise that second half.
If they can get the same amount of lead they had on Georgia, get up 21 or something like that, they'll crush. They will smoke check Florida
It's
for
they'll
sure.
Florida will quit. Florida's not.
Yes.
They're
Yep.
soft. They're not
They're
gonna. They're not
soft.
gonna. They'll give up.
Yep. For sure. Yeah. Oh,
100%.
that's
So
that would be my dream scenario. Is you come out and you score, and we've been really good first half. You could score 21, 24 points in the first half, and you're up 24-10, 24-7, 28 to
right.
10, 28 to 14. I agree. The statistics show Florida falls way off second half. They'll quit. They're soft, and then you just roll, and they cannot score enough points for me in the
No.
swamp to
Right.
make me happy.
Right.
If you're Heupel,
Yes.
dude, it would make that would energize a whole fan base. You want to get a whole fan base back on your side? Go put 81 up in the swamp and never
Exactly.
and
Go for
throwing the
two.
ball.
Work on your 2 point plays
Yes,
every time you score.
that will bring every Tennessee fan back to you, knowing that you just went in there and
Yeah.
curb stomped the shit out of those guys. So
Right. What would be the downside? Like, what are you worried about? Florida wanting to get revenge next year? They've been getting revenge for the last 25 years, basically, right? 23 years.
right,
So
right,
yes, run the score up, right?
yes, run it
Yeah.
up
Worry
as
about
high
next
as you
year. Next
can.
year.
Yep. Yeah, the
Yeah.
coaching staff
Yeah.
over
It's
there ain't
just a
gonna
lot
be
of
there
2 point
anyway.
conversion plays you got to work on.
Right.
No.
The only
No.
the
No.
only thing you
Exactly.
got to
A lot
worry
of
about
players
is
probably won't be
fights.
there.
That'd be the only thing you have to worry about.
Yes. Yes.
Aguilar getting
Fights.
shanked out
Someone
of
gets suspended or something
shaking
like
hands
that.
or
So.
something. Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
that would be terrible, right? That
Yes.
that right there, dude. That's Tennessee
That'd be
football.
perfect. Florida.
You go
Florida
in
wins,
there,
or Tennessee wins, and then
Tennessee, and Aguilar
Aguilar gets
gets.
suspended. Bradwell suspended, and drops to Vandy. Oh, that'd suck. That'd be awful. They get in a fight and
Don't you put
get
that magic on me,
suspended.
Ricky?
Uh,
Don't you put that magic on me?
no, no, I didn't say that. That was just that was your imagination.
Uh,
Right. All right. Well, we hit everything. We
I
hit
think
90
so.
minutes. That's what we did hit.
So it'll be a very
All right.
somber
Well,
Monday show, or it's going to be lit AF because I've got
yeah.
wardrobe ready to go. All I need is a win, and I got wardrobe ready for the show.
You want to see good energy. You want to see a Tennessee win. If you're a Florida fan, just you know what, let them have one, right? Just come on. It's been a while. It's been a while, right? What do
Yes.
you got to
Yeah.
play for this year? Absolutely nothing.
What
But if you
my
win, you
favorite?
beat Tennessee. The
Uh,
message boards, boy,
I
message
won't
boards
go
will be
near them.
lit
I
AF.
won't go near them because that's
Or should you?
so that there was a local sports show here about 8 or 10 years ago, and they're still on the air. But the host of it made a good point, and I think it's when it might have been Butch Jones. He said, but he made a point that every head coach has a doomsday clock over their shoulder. And based on their career and the decisions they make and the games they win or lose, whether that doomsday clock starts to tick. Once it starts to tick, there's no unticking the clock. Once it starts, you're out of there. It's just a matter of time. I'm afraid that
Yep.
this game, especially if you lose by multiple scores, could be the doomsday clock for Heupel. I hope not. Man, I
Yeah.
really do. I like Josh Heupel. I think he's did a great job. And I remember where we were in the mid 2000s, all the way up till he got here. So, but
Wandering in the
it,
desert. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Going through coaches and all kinds of stuff. So getting beat by wide receivers playing quarterback at Kentucky. There's just it's just was really, really bad. You were stoked you went 6-6 and went and played at the Gator Bowl. And you were trying to
Right.
figure out where you were going to get enough wins to
Yeah.
get to a bowl game. So it's come a long way. I
Yeah.
don't want to see it happen, but a 7-5 after year 5 could start the clock. And
I think the clock will
Yeah,
start, and
I do
if
too.
they lose multiple scores to Florida and then they take one on the chin to Vandy, that
Yep,
clock may be ticking faster than he'd like. In fact, time
the only
speeds up a
thing
little bit when
for
it's this
sure,
exciting.
and the only thing he has going for him in that regard is Danny White hired him. He was his AD at Central
Danny
Florida,
White, right,
so they have a lot. They have a long history. That's the only thing you have on his side
right.
because
He's not
you'll
going to pull the
lose the
trigger
fan
quick,
base.
right.
Right.
Right. White will not be. He seems level-headed. He will not want to pull the trigger unnecessarily or quickly. So I wouldn't even say that his seat is hot. Now you're right. That clock's still tick, tick, tick,
Hmm.
tick, tick, and he's gonna feel that and hear that all summer and spring until next year. So yeah. Otherwise, they could put that clock. That's maybe someone's getting out dusting it off right now. Last time it was
Yeah,
used a few years ago, and they can put it back in the closet. They beat Florida.
for
They'll be
sure,
good for the rest of the
100%.
year. Like, because they're not gonna lose to Vandy if they beat Florida. I
I
believe
don't.
that.
I'm with you.
Like, because they could
I
easily
think
end up 10-3. Like they'll be at 9-2 or 10-3 or 10-3, and a good bowl game they could get to
no.
10-3 basically. Yeah. So
Yeah, 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 for sure. That it's a 3-7 Florida team, but it's amazing what it would do for Heupel, the fan base, and the possible program as far as what it propel them to this year. And over just a floundering three and
right.
seven. That's how much of a that just goes to show you how much of a thorn in the side Florida's been to Tennessee for so many years. That you go beat a 3-7 Florida team and it changed the total trajectory of your whole season based
And
on beating a
and
terrible
and
team,
hype
a
hype.
terrible team. Kentucky's like,
Right.
we don't have any trouble
Heupel's
beating these
getting a
guys. What's your
Gatorade
problem?
bath.
Yeah,
What's your big deal? We beat them home on the road. Doesn't matter. Figure.
yeah, we beat them everywhere. I mean, what's the big deal, right? But Kentucky can't beat Tennessee,
And that's
so
like
there's that. Yeah.
that's to say there's Tennessee and Kentucky are light years difference in talent, right?
Yes,
And the big fact that Kentucky can't beat Tennessee, but Kentucky has no fear. They don't even flinch against Florida the last few
nope.
years. It's amazing.
There's no pucker at
Absolutely amazing.
all.
So some of that there is a psyche factor with these kids. Like none of these kids are born when maybe Joey touchdowns was maybe in diapers when the last time Tennessee won, but they do hear those things, right? And it is creeping in the back of your mind. I'm sure they try to downplay it. Like this is not teams. This just team this year has never played at Florida. Like it's a new year every year. But those kinds of things, like I wonder, these are kids who are 18, 19, 20 years old. Like we talked about it before. Maybe their girlfriend's being a pain in the ass or whatever. Like they're
Right.
just distracted enough to like that ball you normally catch on 3rd and 10, you drop and you have to punt, and that's a big pivotal play. So little things like that can add up. You just hope that they can try to keep that noise at bay. If I'm Tennessee, I'm telling my kids stay off social media, don't watch ESPN because that's all they're going to talk about the next few
Yep.
days, including Saturday during the game. You do not want to have any of that seed planted in you that we already have. It's already heard. Every kid on the team has heard it. Everyone on that campus has heard it. I mean, even the math teachers that couldn't give a shit less about football, they know what this looks like, right? And so you don't want to have that thinking about it and obsessing about it and that being your main motivation. You go in there, you're a better football team, you're better on both sides of the ball, you're better coached, and you should win this game. You're favored to win this game. People who know a lot about sports say you should
Yep.
win this game by just under a touchdown. That's focus on that. That's my pregame speech.
I love it. I love it.
Hope it works.
I want to run through a wall right now.
That's right. That'd be cute. Yeah, I see you run from the wall. Right? You do the Kool-Aid man, the run through a wall like Andy Reid. That meme, Andy Reid.
Yeah.
All right, we're really babbling now. We got 7 more minutes of content for you, though. Hey, that's Chris. I'm Brian. This is Healthy Adult Podcast, episode 13.2. We will see you back after the weekend's games, and hopefully, you have a super energized, maybe hammered Chris Stewart.
Please let it happen. Dear 8-pound, 4-ounce baby Jesus. Please let it happen.
Go Vols. All right. See you soon.